Welcome to week 6 of the Ironman 70.3 training in Little Elm, Texas. Honestly, let's go ahead and jump right into the calendar. We're not going to waste any time today with some super long intro. So the calendar. Monday, we had a lift. It was a push day on Monday. Tuesday was a run. We ran 4.34 miles. I know it's a random distance, but we'll get into it more here in just a minute. Wednesday was a rest day. Thursday, we hit a pull day. Friday, we had a swim, a 1750-yard swim. Saturday, we had our usual brick with a 40-mile bike followed up with a 4-mile run. Finished the week with 2 runs, 2 lifts, 1 swim, and 1 bike. So 6 workouts total. I want to say that this was a better week than previous weeks, but we only had 1 bike, and that's kind of the biggest thing I'd like to fix here, is I want at least 2 bikes in every week. I want at least 2 runs. I always try for 2 swims. If I miss anything, it's going to be that second swim, just because I don't put as much weight on that swim as I do with the bike and the run. Now, on that note, really quick, let's talk about the swim for a minute. I've done a lot of talking about the bike and the run and nutrition and things like that. Let's talk about the swim. The swim is the one thing, like I said, I don't put quite as much weight on it. I've never been a swimmer. The first time that I started swimming was the first time I started training for a half Ironman. So swimming has never been my forte. I don't look like a natural swimmer while I'm swimming. And I didn't really realize that until I started taking videos of myself in the water. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can tell I'm not that fast. But it's not something I'm overly worried about. The swim, in my mind, is kind of the warm up to the race, right? For me to fix my swim takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of effort. And if I do succeed in improving my swim and all of a sudden I become a very, very fast swimmer, it saved me 7, 8, maybe 9 minutes on race day. When it's a 6-hour race, the 7, 8, 9 minutes, I'm not overly worried about that. I'd rather put my focus into running and biking, where if I get 10% better in the bike, it saves me much more time, whereas if I'm 10% better in the swim. That's just for me. For people who are really, really into it and really trying to break records or make it to worlds or actually compete for a place, then that's when those 7 or 8 minutes really do matter, because now you're really competing against other people and you want to make that swim as fast as possible. It's not something that I focus on right now. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it with our Monday lift. It's a 10 o'clock at night lift, so it's kind of late. I apologize for the camera quality because it's so dark, but let's get right into it. We'll see you guys at the lift on Monday. Monday, December 15th. Holy shit, dude, we're getting a workout in on Monday. I was just saying how Mondays are typically going to be my rest days because they're usually my busiest days. And what do you know, it's 10 o'clock at night, and we're not going to make it to the gym until 10 o'clock at night because Mondays are busy. But I wanted to get a workout in on Monday. I wanted to start the week out strong this week instead of, I just feel like I'm always behind the 8 ball, you know what I mean? I'm always fighting to get back and get my workouts in at the end of the week. I want to start with something this week, and getting a lift in on Monday, it's probably the only way I was going to get a workout in today. Obviously, I can't swim. I could have jumped on the bike for an hour, but fuck that, you know what I mean? Like, going to hit a push day is gonna be way more fun. It's, I need to get more lifts in every single week. And if Monday just turns into like a late night lift every single week, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. I've been talking about wanting to get more lifts in every week. Monday, either early morning or late at night might be the way to start doing that. And so we're gonna push day in today. I wanna start being more consistent with my lifts, and this is a good way to get started with it. So, we're looking at probably 2 chest movements, 3 to 4 shoulder movements, and 2 tricep movements. We'll start off with, it's Planet Fitness, and we're in Louisiana, so they don't have any like the free weight, well, they have dumbbells, but not the free weight barbells, only Smith machines. So we'll start with some, I'm deciding between incline or just regular bench. One of the two, either incline or regular bench, whatever I feel like doing when I get in there. We'll get some tricep push downs, we'll get some skull crushers, we'll get some side raises, maybe some shoulder press, and then probably another side delt movement just because I really want to crush side delts today. That's constantly the body part, the muscle that needs the most work on my body. For some reason, it just refuses to grow when everything else does. So I'll probably hit side delts with 2 lifts today. And then, yeah, I think that's really it. And then 1 more chest move, maybe some dips, depending on how the wrist feels. The wrist, I messed it up at a Savage race, and I still feel it, man. I can't quite get it back. Like, I feel it right there. God damn it, that's bad. I can't quite get it back to 100%. And it's just so frustrating to go into a push day, and that's what's messing you up is your wrist. You know what I mean? Not a shoulder, not an elbow, a wrist. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on. Just keeping everything healthy and not being achy and sore when I'm in the gym. It hasn't happened in a long time, I feel like. Maybe it's a sign that I need to stretch more or rest more, but it's for losers. It's funny, my boss was just telling me that he hurt his shoulder in the gym. He was like, I just can't get it to get feeling better. I was like, dude, rest it. You gotta rest it. Like, that's the only way to get it feeling better. And he's like, yeah, so he's taking 2 weeks off from hitting anything push day. And I'll tell you what, his shoulder's probably gonna feel better. Here I am with the hurt wrist, and I'm just like, it'll be fine. Just go hit another push day. But honestly, I haven't been hitting push days that often. Like, obviously, the last couple weeks, I've barely been in the gym, and it just will not get better. But it's not something like, you go to a doctor, what are they gonna do with the doctor for a wrist? Put a little thing on it, you know? Like, I'll just go get one from CVS, you know? Maybe I should start doing that. Maybe I just need to start wearing that thing around for a couple weeks. I don't know. I'm completely tangent here. We're just all over the place. Anyways, let's go ahead and go in there, hit some push day, or hit some chest and some tries. And maybe I'll play a song while I'm in there, just because a lot of times I can talk to the camera, or you guys have like something audio-wise to listen to while I'm in the gym. I'd rather not just have it be like silence and you guys just listening to me making noises. So, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I play a song, maybe I don't. Maybe I talk, maybe I don't. We'll see what happens. Whatever feels right in the moment. You know what I mean? That's what we'll do. All right, let's go get it done.
Was it the best you ever had? Was it the worst you never know? Gotta tell you what I think and play it up like it's a joke. Oh, no more surprises. Yes, it's like this. I'll do anything for you. This is highness.
Tuesday, December 16th. We have what I think is going to be about a 4.5 mile run. It was like almost 3/4 of a mile to the loop that I'm going to do 3 times. It'll be 3/4 of a mile back. So it's going to be close. It'll be a little over 4 miles is what it'll be. Now, last week, we ran 5 miles as our maintenance run. And we did those 5 miles at 8 20-minute miles. Today will not be that. Let me show you why. This is much harder to run on and just takes much more energy to hold a fast pace compared to pavement. Now, this is actually a really nice part of the trail, so you may not get the full picture, but I can already feel myself getting ready to take my first walk break 1.25 miles in. If someone does trail running and they say they run 8-minute miles doing trail running, just know that that person's a badass. It is that big a difference. Your heart rate, your energy output, the amount of calories burned skyrocket as soon as you get on the trail and you're dodging roots and your feet sink a little bit in the gravel and the rocks or the dirt and the mud. It is much, much tougher. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take my first walk break. Phew. And we are 1.35 miles in. And we will see you guys about the halfway point. Get your team. All right, it's getting dark quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this video. I may or may not have started out too fast. I was excited to get out of here, felt good. First mile was 8:30, second mile was 9:10. Now I'm struggling to run faster than 10-minute miles. You know, it's one of those days, man, one of those days. And you can't underestimate how much tougher it is to be running on the trail compared to the road. It will eat you up. Now, I do want to say, I'm very happy with myself for making it out today, you know? Yesterday and today would have been 2 very easy days to miss a workout. With yesterday, travel and not being able to get in the gym till 10 o'clock at night, and today, you know, I was working the shop till 3:34, and we're meeting for dinner at 5:45 to go to a restaurant. So I didn't have much time, you know, especially with 4.5 mile run. It takes a good 45 minutes. And so to get up, get out the door, go get the run in, and be back in time to shower up and make it downstairs, really had to move fast, you know. And I'm happy with myself because I very easily could have said, hey, I don't have that much time, I need to send some more emails, let me scroll on TikTok for 20 minutes. That's all it would have taken for me to not make it out today. So even if I'm a bit slower on this back half, I'm happy with making it out today and getting a workout in. We can take a look at the map real quick, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow for what I think will be a swim, maybe a bike, we'll see. Better today, team. Thursday, December 18th. We just finished up a pull day. Now, let me explain a couple things here, because I know, first of all, I skipped Wednesday. Yesterday, I was traveling home, was planning to get a swim in yesterday, but the travel day took much longer than expected. You know, me and Macy wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse. I kind of wanted a glass of wine. And so on the way home, I was like, look, I'm not getting home. I thought I would be home by 4. All of a sudden, I'm not getting home till 6. I need a rest day. 1 day a week is a designated rest day. Let's just go ahead and take the rest day today. You know, yesterday now, obviously. Let's go ahead and take the rest day on Wednesday. I haven't had a rest day yet. I've worked out every day so far this week. Every day for the rest of the week should be decently easy to make it to the gym or, you know, run, bike, swim, get a workout in one way or another. And so I'm not overly pressed about the rest day yesterday, because like I said, there's one a week, and I was completely happy to take it yesterday. Now, today, I went to the gym to get a swim in. Turns out there is, oh, I don't know what it's called. The water aerobics, maybe? There was a bunch of women in there getting it, dude. The vibes were so fucking high in that pool, I wasn't even mad I couldn't swim, you know? But apparently every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7, there's like the water aerobics class where they go in there and they play music and, you know, do all jumping jacks and arm movements and everything else with weights. Phenomenal vibes in there. I mean, I walked in, I was like, holy shit, dude, I should just do this. This looks fantastic. Everyone was happy as could be. You know, they're all of them excited, getting a workout in, listening to good music. It was fantastic. But it did mean that I could not get a swim in today, which we'll cut back to before I went to the gym. This is how I was feeling about the swim before we went in. I don't want to do this. Fuck. I don't want to get in the water. And so when I realized I couldn't get a swim in today, I was honestly kind of okay with it. You know, I was like, that's not the worst thing to happen to me today. That's not the worst thing in the world. We'll just hit a pull day instead, and we'll do a 2-a-day tomorrow. Well, I'll go back, I'll get a swim in tomorrow morning, and then maybe even hit the gym one more time, get 3 lifts. It's looking like I'll only finish the week. Shit. I don't have a bike this week. Yeah, so I'll go back tomorrow morning and get a swim for sure. And I'll pair it maybe with a run and then do one more swim on Sunday. I think that's exactly what we'll do. Because then we'll finish the week with 2 swims, 2 runs, 1 bike, and then 2 lifts, which is not a bad week. All right, so just really quickly, the pull day today was pull-ups, preacher curls, cable lat pull down, a seated cable row, and then rear delt fly, followed up with dumbbell. I don't know what they're called. I call them a duo curl because you curl with it horizontal like this, and then when you get to 90 degrees, you flip it vertical and then go down. And then same thing, over, down. I don't know what those are called, but that's what we finished with. So it was 2 bicep movements and 4 back movements, and I find that to be a very, very good split for a pull day. So, but I am done yapping for today. It was a great day, great pull day. I enjoyed the lift. Fantastic vibes from the women at the water aerobic class, and we will get our swim in tomorrow instead of tonight. And that is all I got for you today. Better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we were today. Good shit, team. Friday, December 19th. Today we have our 1750-yard swim. I'm not going to talk forever today. I'm going to try and bring the tripod in to get a few videos of me swimming while I'm actually in there, but we'll see how that goes, how busy the pool is, if there's, you know, some kids' class going on that I probably won't film. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Now, I was supposed to do the swim yesterday, but as you guys saw, there was some aerobics class going on, and so the pool was closed. I talked to the girl in there. She said Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 is the only time that a lane won't be open for lap swim. So it's Friday, like 3:30 in the afternoon right now. So we're cruising. We should be totally fine on time, the pool being open. The 1750-yard swim, here's gonna be the split, very, very similar to the last one we did. 500-yard warm-up, 500-yard zone 3, followed by 10 50-yard zone 4 sprints. So there's 500 of, so that'll be 500 yards total between those sprints, followed up with 250 yards of zone 1 as a cool down, total of 1750. This breaks it up very, very nicely. I mean, the longest that I'll swim consecutively is for 10 laps. Like, that's 10 minutes of swimming about, you know, so that should be very nice. And you know, we're not just monotonously swimming for 40 minutes straight, you know what I mean? Now, a good rule of thumb, 1750 yards, that's 35 laps. A good rule of thumb for me is about a minute per lap, maybe a little bit longer. So I'll probably be in the pool for about 40 to 45 minutes at the end of the day. After zone 1 will be a little bit slower. The sprints will be faster, but I will be taking 20-second breaks in between each one. So at the end of it all, it'll probably be 40 to 45 minutes of actually in the pool time. Hopefully just under 40 minutes of swim time. If there's nothing going on in the pool, I'll film. If not, you know, we'll see you guys afterwards. But let's go ahead and get in there and get it done. I'll see you guys after.
Was it the best you ever had? Was it the worst you never know? Gotta tell you what I think and play it up like it's a joke. Oh, no more surprises. Yes, it's like this. I'll do anything for you. This is highness.
All right, just because we have it, I figure we might as well go over what the pool swim looks like. And you can see in the pace here exactly what all of my splits look like. So just an overview really quickly. It says 1775 meters, yards. It's my watch is in meters. It's actually yards. And it was also actually 1750. At what point it thought I did an extra half lap. And I think I've found, you can actually see in the map where it thinks I did an extra half lap where my pace spikes for absolutely no reason. The overall time was 51 minutes. This includes rest time. The average pace while I was swimming was 2:10. This is honestly pretty fair. This is exactly what I expect it to be when I have a lot of zone 1 and zone 3 in there. When I'm in my zone 4, I'm much quicker than this. So really quickly, let's take a look at the pace chart. So the zone 1, you can actually see, was basically 230 per 100 yards. I mean, much, much slower. But this is what you want to see in a zone 1, right? There it drops all the way down to 3. That's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but 230 average about for this zone 1, yeah, up to 215. So 230 average about for this zone 1. And that's exactly what I want to see for the zone 1. I don't want it to be anything crazy. I just want it to be a warm-up. There's 500 easy yards. Now, here's the zone 3. You can see here I believe, is where the extra 25 yards was tacked on, because it said I went 52 seconds per 100 yards. That's unrealistic. I've never been that fast in my entire life. So that's probably where it tacked on the extra 25 yards. For some reason, I thought I stopped halfway through this lap. But beyond that, I mean, hovering right around 2 minutes per 100 yards is kind of about the average for zone 3. This is going to be what I want my pace race to be, right around 2 minutes per 100 yards. I'm not a very fast swimmer. And now you can see these are the 10 zone 4/zone 5s, 133 per 100 yards, 144 per 100 yards. This is me at a sprint, right? This is exactly what my sprint looks like. 134 per 100 yards, 150. So all of these laps averaged, I don't know why the second half of the lap was always faster than the first half of the lap. So you can see 135 compared to 158. They all averaged to be about 140 to 145, except for this last one got much, much closer to 2. I was really trying to just keep it under 2 minutes per 100 yards this last one because I was hurting pretty bad. And then finally the zone 1. And the zone 1, except for the last lap, just because I was ready to be done, and I was like, fuck this, get me out of the water. But the other 4 laps were all about the same thing as the first zone 1. 220 to 230 per 100 yards was about the pace. All right, we're done looking at graphs. Let's get back to it for the bike and run on Saturday. Good Lord, dude, that sun is insane. Oh my God. And there's no way to block it. It's just right there. Jesus Christ. All right, it's Friday, December 20th. Today, we have the sun in our eyes the entire drive over to our bike, first of all. Today we have our first 40-mile bike followed up with a 4-mile run. Now, this 40-mile bike, I don't want to say it scares me because that would be the wrong verbiage. But I'm not looking forward to it, that's for sure. And the longest bike I've done so far, I've gone with the 30-mile group 2 or 3 times now. But the 30-mile group doesn't actually go 30 miles, they go 17. So this will be like a fairly big jump into what I assume is actually going to be 40 miles with the 40-mile group, so it's going to be, a whole extra hour on the bike almost. I expect this to take almost 3 hours. Like, that's how long I expect to be on the bike today, including stops and, usually whenever we're biking, all the stoplights and everything else causes the average to be about 15 miles per hour. Plus, 10, 15 minutes worth of stops, it will be 3 hours from start to finish. And then we'll have a 4-mile run to finish it up. So I'm curious to see how my legs handle the 40 miles and then a 4-mile run. I'm also very, very frustrated with myself because I forgot my gels at home, which is very frustrating. I don't want to be doing these bigger bikes without nutrition. The nutrition is something that you absolutely need to train with. It's something I've been bad about in the past, and I wanted to change that this time around. And first time we're doing a bigger bike, I forget my gels at home. So I'll bring my wallet, and usually we stop at a gas station. I'll run inside and grab something from the gas station, just some kind of carbs to keep me fueled up. I do have an electrolyte drink in the water bottle right now, so that's something, and that is big. On bigger days like this will be a 44-mile day. Like, this is, it's no joke. This is getting into bigger mileage, right? This is when it really starts coming. And you can't underestimate the importance of getting some carbs in your system and feeding your body as you go, because your body will run out of energy and it will run out of fuel while you're working out. So you have to feed it while it's working out, right? I imagine the dude shoveling coal for the old for the old trains, you know what I'm saying? That's what I imagine I'm doing when I'm eating like a granola bar on the bike. However dumb that may sound, that's exactly what goes through my mind. But that's a fairly good analogy. You're quite literally just fueling your body because it will run out of sources for energy, right? And so you need to replenish that while you're on it, or while you're biking. All right, let's go get this over with. Apparently the 40-mile bike goes a little bit faster than the 30, so I'm not sure what the actual average pace is going to look like, but I'm not overly pressed about it. I'm not worried about staying with the group or anything like that. I felt really, really comfortable at the pace we were going with the 30-mile group. It's gonna be a little bit faster than that, and I feel comfortable going that pace. We'll see what the last 10 miles feels like, honestly. So let's go get it done. Hopefully we'll see you halfway through the bike. Good chance we don't, again, just because of all the road crossings and, finding a good time to take a video is tough. But we'll try and see you guys during the bike. Let's go get this thing done. We'll see you guys out there. All right, the bike has been finished up. Let's talk about it for a minute. The 40 miles, it was just over 40 miles. honestly much tougher than I thought it was going to be. There are some badasses in that group who they can freaking go, you know, they can go. And so it was nice sticking with that group because it did push me harder than I would have gone for my first 40-mile ride. You know what I mean? Like, that was a faster pace that we went, pushed harder up the hills, into the wind, everything else than I would have if I had been by myself. So it was a tough 40 miles. I could feel in the last 5 miles the fatigue setting in. That's good, you know, that's what we're trying to work to get over, is that those last 5 miles of that bike, I could feel the difference. I could feel that my legs were getting tired. If I had to go 56 today, it would have hurt me really badly, and I wouldn't have been able to run afterwards, you know? So it's good to hurt today. It means that there's progress being made. The hills were not too much of a factor. Again, it's Dallas, it's not super hilly. The wind was. It was a hard south wind, and we started out our bike directly into it. So it made the first half of the bike much tougher. But the last like 6-7 miles coming back with the wind, we were flying. It felt awesome. All right, that's all I'll talk about the bike for now. Let's move on to the run. It's been about an hour since I got off the bike, so I did take a little bit of a break. This first mile is kind of going to be a warm-up mile, a little over a quarter mile in. I'm already taking a walk break, just trying to get my legs adjusted over to running. And so it's going to be almost the exact same thing that we've done with our other breaks, where the first mile will be a warm-up mile. After that, I'll get 1 walk break per mile and try and get each mile to be about 9:20 every single mile after the first one. And then hopefully our overall average pace will be just under 10. And that's the goal for today. That's the goal for every other brick that I've done. And that will be the goal for race day. So we're keeping it consistent here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video so I can get back to running. We'll see you guys here in a couple miles. Halfway through the run, I should have taken this layer off because it is getting hot all of a sudden. Phew, felt really good on the bike. I was actually kind of chilly on the bike. And I thought, damn, the run's about to feel really good. Then I took an hour break between the bike and the run. All of a sudden the sun's up and I'm getting hot as fuck in this thing. So I might take it off here in a second. But mile 1, let's start over. I'm 2.4 miles in. I'm taking the walk break, the mile 3 walk break. And mile 1 being a warm-up mile didn't really pan out like I wanted it to, just because it ended up being a 9:20 mile, which is, you know, faster than what I need it to be. Honestly, that mile 1, I need to force myself to walk more that mile 1 because it hurt my second mile, which ended at a 9:45 or something like that. So next time around, I'm gonna have to make sure that that first mile, I take more than 1 walk break. I let my legs adjust because it hurt me on mile 2. Hopefully it's done hurting me, and mile 3 and 4 will be faster. Speaking of, we're about to have to start running, but I guess we'll see. All right, we will see you guys back at the house when we're all finished up and we can go over all of our graphs and everything, all that nerdy shit. Let's go get it done, baby. Oh, you're okay, girl. It's okay. She doesn't like the beeps that the camera makes, and now she's all scared. Come here, you're okay. It's okay. Say hi to the camera. No, are you scared? You all scared? All right, now that the dog's okay. That was tough. Please excuse the boxes behind me. We have like 100 boxes, and there wasn't enough room in the recycling bin, so they are stored out back until we can empty the recycling bin. Anyways, this is neither here nor there. That run hurt. That day hurt. You know, the whole day was just tough. The run got slower every single mile, which is not at all what you like to see. In the last few bricks I've done, it's been the opposite, where I'm getting faster throughout the run and I still feel good throughout the run. This one, I could just feel my tank hitting empty and just going out on me, you know? So what are we gonna do next time to keep this? What are we gonna do better next week, right? Because this week, that run hurt and it was only 4 miles after a 4-mile bike. Like, I shouldn't be hurting that bad after a 4-mile run, right? So what are you gonna do better next week to make sure this doesn't happen again? First of all, nutrition on the bike, okay? The only thing I had this time was I got a granola bar 26 miles in, not nearly enough carbs, not nearly enough calories, not enough to get me through the bike and the run, right? So that's number 1, is make sure I have gels the next time I go on a bike and I have things that I can actually refuel with. Number 2 is going to be the first mile of that run. I need to make sure that's a warm-up mile. This time I took one little walk break and then started running again. I was like, you know what, I feel good. We'll just finish at the mile. I need to not do that again. I need to make sure I take that first mile, let it be slow. Just let it be a slow mile. On race day, it's gonna be a 13-mile run. If the first mile is slow, that's okay. You'd rather that than the other 12 be hurting worse because you didn't take the first mile slow. Today it was only 3 miles after that first mile, and that still sucked. That still hurt really bad. So yeah, we'll have to do better next time. Let's take a quick look at the splits for the run. The splits for the run were, let's see here, 9:24, 9:44, 9:53, and then 10 minutes even. Okay, so the overall pace was actually a 9:45, which isn't terrible. I mean, that's exactly what I want it to be on race day. That's my goal pace for the most part. But this was one of those days where if I had to run a 5th mile, it would have kept getting slower. You know what I mean? So despite the pace being what I wanted it to be, it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, you know, because if we had kept running, I would have gotten much slower, much quicker. So, but regardless of all of that, look, we got a 44, let's see, how many miles was the bike actually? We got a 40.6 mile bike in and then a 4-mile run. So it was a 44.6 mile day. I won't complain about that. You know, first time doing miles that big into the 40s. And, you know, you expect to suffer. You expect to suffer a little bit, and that means that some progress is being made, right? So we are better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today. Good shit, team. All right, everybody, the swim didn't end up happening on Sunday. As you know from looking at the calendar at the beginning of the week, we did not get that second swim in. So just a quick... But thank you everybody for watching the video. I appreciate it. We will see you guys next week, and Merry Christmas to everybody, because you know this is coming out a couple days before Christmas. And Merry Christmas to everybody, because this video will come out just a couple days before Christmas. The next week will be a tough one because obviously it's Christmas week. We're traveling home. Obviously, this next week will be a tough one because it is Christmas week. We'll be traveling back to Oklahoma to spend Christmas with the family, but we'll probably get a few videos in with my dad just because he's training for the exact same race I'm training for, and he's a little bit more hardcore with it than I am. So maybe we'll get him in a few videos, get some advice from the big guy, and we will see you guys this week. Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.